Bloom where you are planted. And this is something that a mentor told me a few years ago when I was in a very dark place. There were some things happening at work that were just like really bringing me down, and I wasn't really sure what to do. And I thought I might get fired. I thought my career would be over. And one of the things she said to me, and I'll never forget it, is, honey, sometimes you just have to bloom where you were planted. Hey everybody, this is Shontavia from Shontavia.com, and you're in the right place if you want to be inspired to build the brand and business you were made for. In this video, I want to talk to you about just getting started with your business idea. I know as working professionals, a lot of times you can research something to death, you can turn it over in your head to death, you can get caught up in that paralysis by analysis type thing where you think of all the reasons why something won't work instead of just pursuing it. And what I want to suggest to anybody watching this video right now, if you're working somewhere and you have an idea for something that you think is really going to change the game, it's really going to positively impact other people's lives and your lives, my message to you is to just get started. And I've been thinking about this a lot for two reasons. The first reason is I released a podcast episode last week with a woman named Denise Woodard, who's the founder and CEO of Partake Foods. And Partake Foods is killing the game. They are everywhere right now. They're in Whole Foods, they're in Target. They're releasing all these amazing new partners. And what they make is cookies that are good for people who have allergies. And Denise Woodard is a woman of color. She's Black and Korean. And when I was talking to her in the podcast episode, one of the questions I asked her is, what would you say to somebody who has this idea, they're at work and they're trying to figure out what to do next? And her advice, which she got from somebody else, was just get started.
This is feedback that Seth Goldman, the founder of Honest Tea, gave me, and it was just get started. Like, I went to him and I was like, I have this idea, but I need to do this and I need to do this before and this. And he was like, why are you talking so loud? Like, just get started. And I think people often get caught up in like perfection and wanting to have a very splashy launch and like everything figured out. And stuff is going to change so much along the way that, like, as long as you have something you're passionate about and a product you feel good about, like, use your consumers to learn like what works and what doesn't work, but just get something out into the universe. And I think also that it's okay to take baby steps. And I think oftentimes, particularly as women and women of color, it's better to take baby steps because we don't often have a huge security net. So like if Partake had failed early on, like I couldn't call my parents and be like, oh yeah, I want to try again. And that doesn't exist. So I was very careful and meticulous in the steps that I took because I knew I wasn't going to get that many chances to get it wrong.
And this is something I say to people a lot in the Brand and Business Academy, which is my program that helps working professionals start their businesses and grow their brands in 6 weeks or less. And I teach this a lot in the Brand and Business Academy, that you just have to get started, that you have to choose progress over perfection every time. And if you do that, you will start to see some headway. You just have to get started. So that's really the first reason I've been thinking about it when she said it last week. And as I am talking to people about the Brand and Business Academy, that phrase really stuck out for me. And the other reason I've been thinking about this is a quote that I believe really strongly, that I've been talking a lot about. There's actually a book that just came out called Lessons from Successful African American Lawyers, and I'm featured in this book as a contributing author. And one of the things I'm asked in the book is, like, what is your favorite quote? What is one of your guiding principles? And the thing I said then, and so this interview was years ago, but I'm still like using it today, so I know that it really is impactful in my life, is bloom where you are planted. And this is something that a mentor told me a few years ago when I was in a very dark place. There were some things happening at work that were just like really bringing me down, and I wasn't really sure what to do. And I thought I might get fired. I thought my career would be over. And one of the things she said to me, and I'll never forget it, is, honey, sometimes you just have to bloom where you were planted. And I believe that too, that no matter what your situation is right now, there is a place where you can thrive, where you can succeed, where you can create really, really amazing results for yourself and for other people. And I think about that a lot when I'm working with new entrepreneurs, because so often people will say, I've had this idea for years and I've never moved on it. Or like, I'm 50 and I've never taken a job that was something that I really love. And that really makes me sad, because so many of you have so many amazing, dynamic, wonderful ideas, and they're just sitting in your head when we need them, right? Like, we need these great ideas. We need people who are passionate about things to pursue them. People in the world need that idea that you have. They need that special gift that you have. They need you, right? Even if there are 1,000 people out there doing the same or similar thing in your industry or in your field, there's something unique about you that makes me want your message instead of anybody else's. And I feel that way about myself too. Like, in my own business, there aren't that many Black women who are intellectual property lawyers, who are also working full-time in senior leadership roles in their institutions, who have a background in engineering and law and science and tech, and who've done the things I do. And because there are just not that many people who look like me, I attract people who want the message the way I have it. There's a billion people teaching folks how to start businesses online. But there's something different about my message because of all the things that are unique about me. And the same is true for you, which is why I think you just have to get started. And if you don't know where to get started, I'm going to drop some links in the description below so that you can figure out, like, what is the first step I take? What is the second step I take? Where do I even begin with all of this? I want to hear from you in the comments. What exactly is holding you back? What is keeping you from pursuing that business idea you've had forever? What is keeping you from starting the business that you've been thinking about for 5 years or 10 years or 15 years? Let me know in the comments. What is keeping you from getting started? Now, if you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I release videos like this frequently because I want to help you build that brand and business you were made for.